Hey guys, so I am back and I am here to basically talk about a little project I have been working on and unpacking it a bit further. I have written a book about modelling and it basically has all of the things that I wish I had known when I first started modelling. It's got my experiences, my tips and tricks to keep you happy and healthy and safe whilst modelling, because it can be such an unknown environment and I would love for you all to feel prepared. Today we will be talking about chapter 1, which is who can be a model, and I would love for you to get the book if you would like to and look deeper into the different areas that we'll be exploring and hopefully get something useful out of it. So I guess the long and short of who can be a model is nowadays anyone really. There's no longer that age cutoff, there's no longer the you have to be this little and this tall to model. We have, as a society, tried to get more representation within the creative industry, and I think that's amazing. And because of that, we've got so many different boards now at agencies. There are curve boards, there are petite boards, there are speciality boards, there are fitness boards, there are more mature boards for older people, there are family boards, there are modesty boards. So basically there is space for anyone and everyone if you are comfortable in front of the camera and are photogenic, and I think that's really cool. Height is still a preferred thing if you are going into modelling, unless, like I say, you're going for one of those specific boards that don't need a specific height restriction. If you are going for a main board at an agency, they still look for girls over 5'8" and guys over 6 foot. And that is simply because your sample sizes and the measurements that the fashion houses work to are to those measurements, and you will just be limiting yourself if you are on a made board but don't fit within that height and weight. Talking about weight, if an agency ever makes you feel uncomfortable or encourages you to lose a whole load of weight and you don't feel like that's right for you, then just say no and don't do it. If they're pressuring you to do those sorts of things, then that agency really shouldn't be top of your list to be represented by, and you can just move to another agency or discuss that with them and see if it's something that maybe they know that they probably shouldn't be doing. But always looking out for yourself and doing what's best for you is key, and never feel like ashamed for looking after yourself or trying to keep yourself healthy. They are looking for leaner people, unless, like I say, it's a family board or a curve board or you're pregnancy modelling. A leaner frame is what they prefer, but that still is not to say that you need to be emaciated or looking ill or starving yourself to do that. Like, just be healthy, just be you, and if that works with modelling, then amazing. But if not, then perhaps it's not the right line of work to be in anyway, and that is no loss to you, that is completely a loss to the industry. Also with that is age. I got linked up to an agency when I was really young, and I loved that experience. I loved studying alongside going to shoots and castings during half terms or summer holidays, and I just think it was a great experience, and it really helps you sort of grow up, because you are in this set environment where everything is going wrong, everyone is manic, and you just sort of need to stay calm, you need to know what you're doing. And for being the youngest on set, I think that's a really important experience to learn, and also understanding where your boundaries are, and I really enjoyed doing both. Admittedly, that's not for everyone, and if you ever feel like modelling is taking away from your education, just give it a couple of years. Finish your GCSEs, finish your A-levels, and then go into modelling afterwards if you feel like you can't do both at once, which is again no failure at all on your part. Like, you need to make sure you get your education and do that right, and then come to modelling when you're ready. If an agency ever encourages you to leave education or stop your studies to be a full-time model, then I would say don't. Education is so important, and it's such a privilege to have it, and it's such a bad decision if you decide to leave to model. You can always go back to modelling, and studying is so important, and you don't want to fall behind on that. Being a year out of modelling and keeping up to date with your studies is so much more important than getting that extra year head start on all of your peers, and it's really not worth it, because when it comes to you finishing modelling and you've got no qualifications, what are you going to do? Whereas if you have all of your education and your qualifications and then you go into modelling, you are set no matter what happens. Whether modelling works out or it doesn't, you'll be prepared for all of those situations, and that's so much more important than going to an extra couple of castings that in the long run you won't even remember. That is being young and modelling, but now let's chat about being older and modelling. Within those mature boards there are loads of different subcategories, and with the families, you know, you've got all age ranges covered, and I think that's amazing. With e-commerce and TVC and your skincare and your hair care, they just want society and their customers to be represented, and it's great when you see a gorgeous 60-year-old lady with amazing skin but loving her wrinkles on Olay, and it's just amazing. I love that, and it's really nice to see. There is still that sort of cut off for your traditional modelling, and you know, that's why education is so important, is once you are finished with modelling, you have something that you love doing or you're passionate about that you can then go on to do and put everything into it. But then also, if you still enjoy modelling, there is still that option to carry it on and go into that different section. So whatever you can bring to the table, I think if an agency are passionate about you and love what you have got to offer, then you can basically fit within every part of the agency. So in my next video I will be talking more about how to find an agency and what is a reputable agency anyway. And if you want to know more about who can be a model, then check it out in the book, and I would love to hear your thoughts and see your pictures of the book, or I don't know, it would just be amazing to get a community going who are all wanting the modelling industry to be a better place, and to support each other and just be a helping hand for both models who have been in the industry for years and new people coming up and wanting to know more. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening, and I really hope that if you are looking into modelling, that you take lots of people's perspectives and watch other videos, read other books, and become aware of everyone's experiences, because we can only talk about our own, and then you can make that informed decision to whether modelling is the right career path for you or not. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, hopefully see you next week maybe in my next video. Thanks guys.